Welcome, one and all, to the 5th episode of the YankandKiwi podcast.
Shit, 5 already.
We are your hosts, Brett, the handsome and charismatic one.
And I'm Sam, the funny one who has good hair and won't go bald young. And who never shuts the fuck up.
Also true. Now, today's going to be a very different episode because Sam and I, well, we couldn't come up with a good topic, so we decided we're just going to freeform it. And that can be fun. Gives us a little time to be loose.
Yeah. You don't always need a topic. It's just good to work with a topic sometimes, or much of the time.
Yeah. Now, to start off, before Sam and I started recording, we were talking about podcasts and how most podcasters don't really seem to have an opinion. And about the only ones, of course, I countered with him saying that the ones that do have an opinion are guys like Adam Carolla or Joe Rogan.
Bear's podcast, Marin's podcast.
They're
but
guys, of course, they're guys that can have an opinion because they have tons of cash and they can't get fired from their jobs.
But a lot of people, particularly people who talk about hobbies, often don't seem to like it. Because a lot of them advertising deals and stuff.
Yeah, can't alienate our sponsors, as a whole bunch of YouTubers found out.
Yeah.
With the adpocalypse.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like Corolla or Marin or people like that. Their sponsors are like Audible and stuff like that. They're services rather than
products.
Yeah.
So they don't really care what they say.
Yeah, and I was talking about back in the late days of the anime boom where everyone had an anime podcast and most of them had sponsors from someone and they refused to ever give opinions.
Because of course they did.
And also they wanted as many listeners as possible, so they didn't want to alienate them by bashing a show that listeners might love. So you would get people who would take something absolutely awful like Witchblade and go, you'll like this if you like this other thing, that and the other, and they won't talk about how terrible it was, you know? I'm sure there were people who did the same thing with like even shit like the first Negima that like even the fans hated.
Oh my
or,
god!
You know, really.
You know what?
Have you ever seen that one? That first Negima?
I know it by reputation.
It's awful. I had read some of the manga previously. It was not good.
But it wasn't bad.
Anime was a million times worse. Well, the same guy who did Love Hina did that manga.
Yeah, so I think you can pretty much know what to expect.
It's a step below Love Hina. It's pervier. It's less good. It's less funny. But again, it's not actively terrible. That first anime is actively terrible.
Yeah, no shit. Speaking of anime that are actively terrible, do you remember when you guys were not around for this last week, but I was talking with, I brought this up with Sam and Diente, and this happened after we stopped recording last week's episode, and I brought up to them an anime I came across known as Seven Mortal Sins that has recently been picked up by Funimation and has all the trappings of a hentai except the one thing that would make it a hentai.
And Brett was amazed because I looked this up because I swore it rang a bell, and it turns out it's a shonen. It's based on a shonen manga that ran in one of the big shonen magazines.
Okay, now just so I'm clear, you're sure you're not mixing up with the other anime called Seven Deadly Sins? Because both are based off.
I might be. Okay, what was this one again?
Seven Mortal Sins. But that's just the English title it's been given. Let me pull that up because it has a title in Japanese that I cannot remember off the top of my head.
No Taizai.
Yes, that's the one. Sen Nanatsu no Taizai.
No, this is different. So, the manga for that is there are 2 manga.
Based around the 7 deadly sins.
Wait, what? Okay, this is weird. Yeah, so there's. Oh no, it's the manga for this one is published by 2 different companies. I think one's a shonen and one's a seinen one.
Oh boy!
It's published by Hobby Japan and Media Factory.
You know, I'm gonna bet you the seinen one is probably much more like a hentai. Probably has stuff that would that I'm pretty sure. No.
Well, it's weird because the original run for the Hobby Japan one, August 29th, 2016 to now. The other one's February 2017 to now. So it might have swapped magazines or it might be running in 2.
Yeah, that's possible. There are manga that have done that. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure used to be running, I think, weekly Shonen Jump, and then it went monthly.
You know what else used to... I'm not sure if it ever changed, but you know the old Clamp manga, X, or X 1999?
I know about X.
That, I'm not sure if that got changed, but the reason that never got finished was that the shoujo magazine that was publishing it went, yeah, this is too dark and this is not fitting with us. You've got to... And where they wanted to take it, they couldn't find a shoujo magazine that would publish it where they wanted to take it because it went too dark.
You know, I'm pretty sure Clamp is big enough they could just self-publish it.
They could now, but it looks like they're never going to do it, which is a shame because Clamp are... I have a soft spot in my heart for Clamp. Not everything they do is good.
You actually like Chobits.
The manga is very good. The anime is terrible. The anime and manga are very different.
Oh.
The manga actually acknowledges how creepy the whole idea of Chobits is and all of the Chobits is and all of that. It's the manga is more of a social commentary kind of thing, whereas the anime is not terrible, but the fact that it never acknowledges how creepy that is and it goes for a happy ending where they can be together really ruins it. Whereas the manga doesn't do those things.
So the manga actually acknowledges that it's creepy for a guy to fall in love with his computer.
Yes, and it doesn't. If I recall correctly, it doesn't give them like, oh, they can just be together. It's much better. It's darker as well, but it does have some of that social commentary. It's a good manga. Clamp, they're inconsistent, but they're pretty great, and that X is definitely a hit. The anime version, well, the movie looks great, is a total mess, makes no sense. The TV series is not bad, but the manga is much better.
Yeah. If you want to see something,
my favorite of theirs, dude. My favorite of theirs is still Holic.
Dude, if you want to
Holic is awesome.
Dude.
But yeah, you were saying. Although the Holic anime is terrible, but yes, you were saying. Sorry.
If you want to see something that will ruin Clamp for you, look at the doujinshi they did for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh no. Not happening. But yeah, they've done some good stuff. They've done some shit.
It's more like they either have really good ideas or really bad ideas.
Yeah, but like it's not that they make terrible stuff so much as when they miss, they just make kind of meh. You know what I mean? Adaptations of their work tend to not be as good as well as the other thing. Cardcaptor Sakura being kind of the notable exception. And, the fighting one.
Yeah, I know about Cardcaptor Sakura. I remember
Angel Beat. No, not Angel. Angel something. They did a tournament fighting kind of thing. And the anime version of that's not bad.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I remember seeing commercials for card captors on, I can't remember if it was Kids WB or Fox Kids. I'm going to lean on Kids WB.
I used to watch it as a kid, and then when I saw it later subbed, I was like, oh my god, they really raped the show in the dub.
Yeah.
It was... does anyone listening, I'm going to guess you never watched the show, but does anyone listening remember the really terrible dub version, the opening theme they did for that?
I do not. I most certainly did not,
It
because
was
I never
terrible.
watched. I never watched Card Captors because, well, I looked at it and said, "Ugh, that looks like a girl show. I'm not watching that. I'm a boy."
It had a great opening in manga. Sorry, in Japanese. The dub opening was terrible. Although I have to say, one of the ultimate examples of what the fuck were they doing with the
One
opening
Piece.
titles has to be what they did with Digimon.
No. One Piece. It has to be One Piece.
No. I'm just talking about the opening themes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because the One Piece opening theme was cool.
Really? That stupid rap
That's
song.
sort of... Yeah, but if you're a kid, that will get a kid wanting to watch it. You know what dub redone opening song I will defend?
Oh, this should be interesting.
The original few Pokemon ones.
Well, those
They're
are
actually
actually
cool.
good songs.
Yeah, they're good songs. They're a little cheesy, but they fit with the theme of it, and they're actually good. By the way, that first one is actually really hard to sing, so props to the dude who fucking sung that.
Okay, yeah. Hats off to that guy, whoever he is.
I forget his name, but he also does wrestling songs,
Wait.
I think.
Wait a minute. I think I know who you're talking about.
Let me look this up. Pokemon English theme singer.
I think I know who you're talking about. Because this guy...
I want to say he might have done the
Jason
the
Page.
he's an ass man thing, but I can't remember.
Badass Billy Gunn's theme song?
It might have been. I could be entirely wrong.
Yeah, but his name is Jason Page. Let's see what he's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Singing backgrounds in Art of McCartney.
Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else.
Done various jingles including Mountain Dew's Bohemian Rhapsody and Pepto-Bismol's Nausea, Heartburn, Indigestion.
Yeah, no, he didn't do wrestling. I've got him confused with someone else. My bad.
Yeah, because I know... Because the guy you're... Oh, here's something interesting. Page sang a parody of the Pokemon theme in support of Ron Paul during the 2012 primary.
Holy shit, that's awesome. Oh, he was in Rent, a production of Rent. Oh, he's been in Jesus Christ Superstar production there. He's been in the Who. He's been in the musical version of Tommy. Okay. He's a proper singer. Oh my god. He was in Sausage Party.
Really?
He was in Sausage Party.
Oh my god.
He was in the Muppet movie. He's done a lot. I have to say, dude, he was the lead singer for Blood, Sweat, and Tears for a bit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
For a year. In 2016.
Yeah, well, Ripper Owens sang with Judas Priest for about 2 albums until they kicked him out.
Yeah. Very good singer. Not convinced that his voice worked with them, though.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible Ripper Owens might have been actually better than Rob Halford. It was just more a demolition, just really...
It's kind of hard to say who's better. They have very different styles. Dude, this Ron Paul theme parody is on YouTube.
Okay. Where you can... I have to play that fucking thing.
I'll link it to you after I'll link it to you after we're done. And then we can give it a listen.
Okay, now this is why we gotta... Okay, you guys don't know this, but I recently picked up some new software from a company called Spreaker, which is very good at helping out podcasters. and they have a free kind of software that gives you a lot of toys to play with, but they put all the good stuff behind a paywall. This is the kind of situation this was made for, so we can play this in the middle of the podcast and comment on it.
Yeah. We'll be getting that one day, and then we can do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, can you do sound effects with it?
Yeah, you can.
We gotta set up a sound effect board when we eventually get that.
Yes, we do.
Oh god, no, because I will just go, because I'm I would have to be the one using them, because I'm the one who is like a diehard Opie and Anthony fan.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to link Sam and the download.
When this happens down the line, because soundboard would be fun.
Yes, it would be very much. It very much would.
Just got to remember not to put an echo in there, or I might end up alienating a few people to remaining.
Oh Lord.
Bernie Sanders! Insert echo here.
Or Sarah Silverman, men. Jared Kushner.
I'm not sure who I hate more. Actually, yes, I am Jared Kushner, because he's a fucking Zionist shill warmonger. Yeah, we're not afraid to give opinions.
You're not. Yeah, honestly. Hey, Trump, I don't care if he's your son-in-law. He's a liability.
Yeah. I mean, he's not even that good. He's a
typical New York Democrat.
Kushner's basically a Zionist Democrat, and Ivanka is a bleeding heart liberal. Giving them that much influence is a big mistake, because they stand against everything
And unfortunately, Trump's biggest weakness is his own children.
All right. Enough politics.
Yeah, speaking of people whose biggest weakness is their children, let's talk about my mom.
Okay.
I got this email sent to me.
I was really afraid that you were gonna make this go to that whole fucking sex dolls thing that you posted about on Facebook that we are not getting into here, because holy shit, that's just the most reprehensible thing.
We probably should. Maybe just briefly, but oh my god. But yes, my mom found. Let me see. This I'm gonna have to send you the download for this, Sam, because I do not think if I do screen share, you're gonna be able to see this very clearly.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. So now this thing my mom sent me in an email. This was, you see, back in around, I think, 6th grade, we had this contest to write a song for 9/11.
Oh.
And so
okay.
I wrote one, but never entered it. I don't know why. My mom dug it up and said it was really good, because I'm just going to say this. My mother is critical with everyone except her own children.
And this is going to be terrible, isn't it?
Just look at it.
Let's see if I can read this. I'm terrible at reading handwriting. Oh my god. Your full name is Breton?
Yes. The story to that is that when I was born, my mom found Breton in the... Stop that. She found Breton in the baby book and said to herself, "Oh, that sounds unique," and ran with it.
Right. There's irony. Your name is Breton, and you like the gold standard. But in Woods Agreement, which was, of course, a half-assed So, here's the thing many people don't actually understand about the Bretton Woods Agreement. When Nixon ended that, he ended the gold standard, but the Bretton Woods Agreement itself weakened the gold standard as opposed to what it was before the Bretton Woods Agreement. Fun fact for people.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was
Dude, this was meant to be a song.
Yes.
These are not song lyrics. These could not be sung.
Now, remember what I said? This was in the 6th grade, and my mother is incapable of being critical when it comes to her own children.
I know, but this is like a mix between a really bad speech and really bad poetry. Dude, this is slam poetry. This is not lyrics. This is slam poetry.
No, it's poetry a 12-year-old boy wrote.
It's bad. It's like, I'll tell you what, this is better than like any SJW slam poetry that I've ever seen. That's not saying much, though.
Yeah, well, like I said, this has an excuse for being bad.
This does, man. God, that fuck, man. You gotta put a link. You gotta put a link to that in the show notes.
Oh boy.
Or read it.
Oh, you are going to
read it, Brett.
Well, I'm gonna have to because I'm gonna have to because. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to because Sam likely can't read my handwriting. Oh my god, how much of this did I write?
Of it, but there are a few bits of it that I can't because it's like it's
legible.
There are a few parts where it's not really legible to me. I'm bad at reading handwriting in the first place.
Those 2 towers faced a bomb from below, and then it came from the sky. Oh no. Some survived the entire attack.
Okay. And then it came from the sky. Oh no. It's just so...
Like I said, this is stuff a 12-year-old would write.
I know. It's just, oh no. It's such like an underreaction to that.
Uh-huh. A 12-year-old boy with no training in music theory.
Yeah, or lyrics, or poetry, or any such devices. Yes. We got to oh no.
Some survived the entire attack. Thousands died and never came back. American icons may crumble and fall, but American...
At least you understood... Well, at least you had a basic understanding of rhyming.
Yeah. But that's something any fool could do that.
You'd be surprised at how many people don't understand that.
So honestly, rhyming is not that hard.
I know.
American icons may crumble and fall, but Americans will stand tall. September 11th, 2001 is a day that isn't gone. Ha ha ha! They could have destroyed the Alamo. They could have blown up the Hollywood Bowl.
How could they destroy the Alamo? The Alamo is a place.
The fort is still there.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm with you now.
Yeah. The ones
My bad.
Yep. The ones who died are not forgotten. Dead ones are in thousands, not 10.
You went for some wordplay there, but boy, did you not do well.
No, I did not. It's not the end of the world.
It was for the people who died.
Cars, repeat last line, blah, blah, blah. After the towers, we were in sorrow. We never knew what was in tomorrow.
We never knew what was in tomorrow. That just sounds really grammatically off. Yeah. Things can't be in tomorrow. But yes, continue.
We were so scared for so long. Our future was blinded and almost gone.
Yes.
Goodbye to those who have died. That day is a day that we can't. It cuts off from here.
Yeah.
My mom's scanner. This is gonna. As I put on my mom's scanner. God help us get through. Bring us closer and closer to you.
Oh man. Your mum thinks this is. Oh man.
I told you she's not capable of being critical with her own children.
Jesus, mate, that is just.
Yes.
Oh,
I've been told.
props to you for being willing to actually dredge this up and do this here for our entertainment. That's terrible. If I had written something like that, I would like hide it away forever and pretend it had never happened.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna bring this up, guys. The 30th this month, I'm gonna be doing New Talent Tuesday at Tacoma Comedy Club, and so
yes, so
I'm gonna bring this up in my act because if you can't laugh at yourself, the audience will never laugh at your jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot to get mine from that. So here's some ridiculous special snowflake bullshit.
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
So this is from I just saw a screen cap of a New York Times Arts tweet. And I quote, "The singer at Halsey identifies as, quote, tri-bi, end quote, bisexual, bipolar, and biracial." How do you identify as bipolar or biracial? Those are just things you are.
Yeah, how do you?
You don't identify as. Oh, and I'm gonna link you this just because it has a picture of the singer.
Oh my god.
She looks about like you would expect.
Oh lord, I'm already about to shit myself. Let's see.
She looks just like you would expect a hipster SJW chick singer to look.
Blue hair that's been shaved.
Blue hair,
ugly
extreme undercut to the point, for those listening, you know those undercuts where there's almost no hair?
Yeah.
But at the top?
Yep.
That's what she's got, and it's dyed bright blue with what looks like darker blue, like, highlights through it. The sad thing is, if she had proper hair and didn't have the tattoo, she'd be kind of pretty.
Yeah,
but holy shit, what the fuck?
My cousin's fiance did the mermaid thing with her hair, and it looked really good, but that's because her hair was still pretty long.
Yeah, it can look good. So the SJW color hair kind of thing can actually look good for some people, depending on how you do it.
Kind of helps if your hair's long. Well, if you're a girl.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, it's best if your hair's long.
Yeah, it looks best for like long curly hair.
Long wavy.
Or wavy. Wavy or curly, it looks best for one of those.
Yeah, not so much straight.
No.
My cousin's fiance, she's got her hair's fairly wavy. So yeah, that's why it worked.
Oh my god, dude. What? The singer's actual real birth name? The fuck kind of Ashley Nicolette Frangipan. Her last name is, no joke, Frangipan.
Jesus.
She's of Italian, Hungarian, and Irish descent on her mother's side, and African American on her father's side.
Oh, great. So now she gets to brag about how diverse her gene pool is.
Dude. Frangipan comes from the black side. Her father's called Chris Frangipan. So, Frangipan is a fucking Italian word for like an almond, like sweet filling. Frangipane, or frangipane, right? Uh-huh. Only fucking black American would have that as their last name. Like someone along the lines must have gone, "Hey, We'll make our last name Frangipane.
You know, here's the
That was
thing.
a fucking terrible accent.
I'm probably gonna sound. You know what? I don't care if I sound racist for saying this. Why is it
Dude,
black
like
names
what I said when didn't sound it.
Why do so many black names sound like a bunch of syllables randomly strung together?
Low average IQs?
Yeah, I mean, like, what's with all the Raekwons and Shaquans and Taekwons and Shaniquas?
Okay, here's the ultimate. I'm gonna type a name into Facebook. Tell me how you think this is pronounced.
Oh boy. Leia.
Ladasha.
Ladasha. Oh my
The reason is, so the mother who named her child this, obviously she was black, was asked how it was pronounced. She said Ladasha because the dash don't be silent.
Okay, this is sounding like. Okay, this is gonna sound like
it's L-E''A.
Okay. This sounds like something I remember I saw in a South Park episode. It had this one.
What?
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. There's this one.
No, I just it froze, so I didn't hear all of what you said.
I saw something exactly like this in a South Park episode. There's this one character. It's a kid named Nathan. He has Down syndrome, but he's also kind of he's kind of an asshole. So
right.
Now this was like one of the recent seasons when they were doing all that thing on advertising and social justice.
Okay.
And what happens is that Nathan turns out was in cahoots with the sinister ad cabal, and so he's got this hooker, and she says her name is Classy, but it's the L has a dick, so it's going up the ass.
Dude, it gets funnier. So this chick Halsey is an electropop artist because of course she is, and she claims. Here's a quote from her. There's plenty of musicians that I love and respect, but I think that I'm the most inspired by cinema.
Okay.
So it sounds like she's a pretentious fuckhead.
Of course.
Oh, and I've heard her. If you've ever heard this terrible song by the Chainsmokers called Closer, she's the chick on that.
Oh shit. I have not. I don't listen to the Chainsmokers. I don't want to.
I heard it once on the radio. You really don't want to. It's so the Chainsmokers, white hipster douches who go on, whose music is all like how hard it is to be a white hipster douche who was straight. It's that kind of, I'm white, I'm straight, I'm a hipster, and I feel so sorry for myself for no real reason. I'm just mopey.
So in other words, it's
really
basically
bad.
emo.
Yeah, it's poppy. Yeah, it's hipster pop emo.
You know, I thought we got rid of all the emo bands. Why are we?
Alas, they morphed.
Yeah, I mean, like My Chemical Romance, they broke up like a few years ago, and they got away from emo and tried something different.
Yeah.
Something that
I'm trying to think emo songs. I think the only emo song I don't hate is what's it, that Welcome to the Black Parade or whatever that song is.
Really?
When I was a young boy.
That's Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah, that's the only emo song that isn't shit, I think.
Sam's gonna hate me for this, but I actually like My Chemical Romance. I actually have their albums, and I actually think that the Black Parade is a good album.
I haven't heard the whole album. I just know I quite like that song. I am tempted to check out that album sometime. I'm not a big fan of theirs.
It's kind of a concept album built around a cancer patient.
Right, so here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of that band, but I do quite like that song. And even there are bands that I'm not a huge fan of that I like an album or two of. So it might be worth checking out that album sometime.
Yeah. If you don't want to check out Three Church for Sweet Revenge, which is probably the most emo they get, yeah, I can understand.
Right. I think I might just stick to checking out the Black Parade.
let's see. Oh, they had another one. Dangerous Days. The Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. I think that's what it was called. It was basically kind of a rock opera.
Right. Okay. Here's something you're gonna like hearing. So you know how I always am like, I really hate the Smashing Pumpkins because I don't like Billy Corgan's voice.
Yeah.
Was in the car with a friend the other day, and 1979 came on.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, this actually isn't a bad song. I don't hate that song anymore. I'm still not, his voice still kind of bugs me a bit, but I don't know. I might be open to checking them out a bit more than I was open to it.
Oh, if you're gonna listen to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Which is the album that comes off. And I looked up and went, maybe I'll check. Holy shit, this has 28 fucking tracks.
Well, they're short tracks.
Still, it's a big, like, I will check it out sometime, that album, probably, but, yeah.
Yeah, I actually managed to... I put on the rock radio, the local rock radio station. Well, it's Seattle's rock radio station, but it gets all the way to Tacoma.
Right.
They were actually playing some good songs. It was playing "Give It Away" by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That is a damn good song.
Then "Panama" by Van Halen, which I played full blast.
I mean, I hate Van Halen. I hate Panama. That song. So
I would think, being a guitar guy, you would like Eddie Van Halen.
no, his guitar tone is piercing and shrill. I find way too much gain. I find his riffs boring. I find his guitar solos boring and indulgent and wanky. His music does nothing for me. And yet, I really like Nuno Bettencourt, who is very influenced by Eddie Van Halen. So go figure. A fan of Extreme?
Don't know. Don't think I've heard of them.
Okay, here's the thing. They're one of those great hard rock bands who did one sappy, not so great ballad, and that got popular. In their case, this ballad is more than, you know the song More Than Words?
Yeah.
That's by them, and the band who did that are a really good hard rock band. Funky hard rock. Got some funky to them. Really good band. Like that song. You dig them. And Nuno Bettencourt, the guitarist, is fucking sick as shit. But yeah, I don't like Eddie Van Halen. Halen, I don't get it. Just like I listen to Jimi Hendrix, and I don't get it. Jimi Hendrix is so boring.
Well, of course, and
again, I like playing guitar. It's so influenced by the both, so and whatever.
Yeah, man, I do know you're more of a John Mayer, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan type.
No, I hate Stevie Ray Vaughan too.
Oh. Really?
I listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, and that guitar tone hurts my ears. It's so fucking sharp. And he's not a good singer. Wasn't a particularly good songwriter. Again, very sloppy. Kind of not a fan of phrasing or melodic sense. I don't know. I'm Stevie Ray Vaughan. No, not Stevie Ray. Fuck. John Mayer, Dickie Betts. I'm thinking guys who I love. Mick Taylor, Peter Green. There's so many guys I love. When he was on Jerry Garcia, but when Jerry Garcia had an off night, boy, was just playing awful. Bunch of people that I like, but I'm not really a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Oh yeah, Keith Richards, yeah. Dude, Keith Richards, most stylish guitar player, like that style, fucking, just those riffs are so cool.
Jimmy Page.
Led Zeppelin always kind of bored me, other than John Paul Jones. Jimmy Page, great rhythm guitarist. His solos kind of bore me a bit. Now, I respect Led Zeppelin, but their music doesn't do much for me. It's like I respect Eddie Van Halen because he had a lot of influence, even though
I don't think I need to ask you about Richie Blackmore.
Dude, Deep Purple, Richie Blackmore, fucking awesome. Richie Blackmore, one of the greatest guitarists to ever live. than I am a Rainbow guy, but I do like Rainbow.
What about Tony Iommi?
Fuck yes. Do you ever listen to the what's his name era of the of
Ozzy, Ronnie, or Glenn Hughes?
either. None of them.
What was it? I think Ian Gillan also sang with Black Sabbath.
Ian Gillan did one album with them that was good. Good came after that.
It was Ozzy Osbourne, Ronnie James Dio, Glenn Hughes, Ian Gillan.
Blanking on the dude's name, and his stuff is some of my favorite stuff from it. The guy who, like, they've kind of expunged the fact that he was with them for like 3 or 4 albums from the record. Like, they try to ignore it. Like Sabbath themselves.
Okay, let's take a look at the lineups. Maybe this will help. Let's see. Member. Okay.
You know the Sabbath song, the Shining?
Here we go.
Who sung that?
Former members. Let's see. Okay, Ian Gillan, Ronnie James Dio, Ron Keel, David Donato, Glenn Hughes, Ray Gillan, Tony Martin.
Tony Martin. Have you ever listened to the Tony Martin era?
No.
Very good stuff. It's a bit more power metal influenced. It's different, but it's awesome. And Geezer Butler and what's his name went in there. They had Cozy Powell on drums for this era. It's a shame Geezer wasn't, because Geezer, awesome bass player. But Tony Iommi had some awesome lead playing and some of that stuff. You should check out that era, because there's some good stuff from that era.
I'll have to keep that in mind. How about KK Downing or Glenn Tipton?
Great players. Very, very good players. I like them.
Okay. Let's see. I know you like. I know Dennis Stratton is your favorite Maiden guitarist.
Which I like all the Maiden guitarists, but I like Stratton the most. Stratton is a weird choice, I know, but Stratton just has that kind of there's like a vocal quality almost to his phrasing, you know, there's that melodicism that he has going on that I love. A kind of bluesy sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, who's the guy that my buddy Shane, he's a big Maiden guy, and he was actually working on trying to get a replica of Adrian Smith's guitar.
Oh, nice. I think Adrian Smith actually has a signature with Fender that's basically a replica of it. I think that Adrian Smith has that.
Really?
Not cheap though. Yeah. That's the black and white one, with the humbuckers and the humbucker on the bridge and neck and single coil in the middle. I think that's what that is.
Pretty up beyond. No,
they were great players.
Beyond that, all the guitars I can list off are metal guitars, which you may or may not.
I like some. I like Ingve up to a point. Up to that album that he did that was, you know, symphony and guitar. That's the last thing that I like of his. I like Steve Vai. Yeah, Steve Vai you listen to much Steve Vai?
Yeah, I think I've tried checking him out. I like Steve Vai's guitar playing.
Steve Vai's great. Satriani's great too. Joe Satriani. If you want a really great sort of hard rock kind of influenced, doesn't mix of things really, but kind of guitar instrumentalist, you should totally check out Andy Timmons. So, influenced by Vai, influenced by Satch, all those guys, but like even more feel, more melody, sort of great. Can shred too. Can shred with the best of them. But yeah, great tone. But yeah, yeah, I'm kind of like, there's so many guitarists I love, but you would just go, who? For most of them.
Okay, how about Dimebag?
Um, I respect Pantera more than I like Pantera,
How
but
about
very good player. Um, I'm going to go with sort of the general consensus that is he was a totally killer player, really unpleasant to listen to guitar tone, but it worked for the music and it worked for him.
uh
But yeah. Oh, Zach Wild. I'm a big Zach Wild guy. I like Zach Wild a lot.
yeah.
Like Randy
How
Rhodes.
about Kirk Hammett?
Hammett laid down some great solos on those first 3 or 4 records, but really not a particularly imaginative guitarist, kind of sloppy, but I think Hetfield's a better guitarist.
Yeah, but doesn't James play rhythm?
Yeah, but he's a great rhythm player. His rhythm playing is so cool. And he plays, I'm not a big fan of the song, but he plays all the guitar, including the solos in Nothing Else Matters. And Nothing Else Matters has a really cool guitar solo.
Yeah.
Really cool feelsy.
How about Dave Mustaine?
Oh, of course, Dave Mustaine. Fuck yes. Chris Poland. Chris Poland's my favorite Megadeth guitarist. At least lead guitarist. I really love that sort of jazzy vibe that he had going on, you know, the jazz fusion thing.
Kerry King.
Slayer. I never got into Slayer, but he's pretty good at that sort of thing. He's pretty good at it, you know. He's good. Not my cup of tea, but he's good.
I wouldn't bother naming any Wasp guitars because, well, I think Blackie he plays rhythm guitar, but he always has a. It seems like he's always got a new lead guitarist every album.
Blackie, from what I've heard of Wasp, Blackie's a pretty solid rhythm guitarist. You know who I respect a lot as a guitarist, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the band?
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on his name. I had it. The dude from Motley Crue.
That would be. Okay, it's obviously not.
I'm
gonna pull it up.
What's bad about this is my last ex, Motley Crue, her favorite band, and that guitarist was her favorite guitarist ever. Mick Mars. There we go.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not the biggest fan of them, although Dr. Feelgood is a killer album.
Wait a minute.
Otherwise, I'm kind of.
Wait, what's this? It says it has Nikki Sixx on keyboard. Nikki Sixx plays bass.
He just play keys too sometimes. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
but,
he probably does play keyboard, but he's primarily the bass player.
Yeah. Again, not the greatest band ever. They had some good songs. They had some shit. I like Dr. Feelgood as an album, but Mick Mars really, good guitar tone. He's a really good player. Actually, he doesn't get enough credit as a player. Like if you listen to something like was it Too Young for Love, Too Young to Fall in Love, or whatever that is, the riff from that is really hard to play. That's really fast and it's all down the strokes. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see what else.
Sort of.
I really like.
I like Slash. I like Slash.
Slash is good. I also like Phil Campbell from Motorhead.
Oh yeah, what I've heard of him, he's good. I like Nick Fortis.
Okay, well, dude, let me just
Nick Fortis is, other than Slash, he's the other guitarist in GNR of these days. And he's really good.
Yeah, dude, you gotta make sure. With Motorhead, you gotta make sure you're distinguishing between the Lemmy, Filthy Animal Taylor, and Fast Eddie Clark era, and then Lemmy when he had Phil Campbell and Mickey D on.
Right. Well, all the guitarists I've heard and the stuff, most of what I've listened to from Motorhead is that live, what's that really famous live album of theirs? Yeah, that, which is a killer album. Who's on that for guitar?
Let me pull it up.
Because that's most of what I've listened to with Motorhead, and I do like that album. That's a good album.
Yeah, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Now, who was on that? Obviously, Lemmy's going to be on it. Let's see.
What do you think of that album?
Lemmy, Fast Eddie Clark, and Filthy Animal Taylor.
Okay, there we are. It's a different guy than you're thinking of, right? What do you think of that one? You a fan of that album?
I still haven't gotten around to No Sleep Till Hammersmith.
Really? Wow.
But yeah, that's
the one that everyone talks about as being their best work. It was killer. It is.
Everyone says Ace of Spades is as good as it gets for them.
This is the album that I've always heard is the one you have to listen to, and honestly, for live hard rock albums, it does not get better. It is one of those albums that you just put on and you put on loud, and it's awesome. Oh, Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley, great guitarists.
Yeah.
Now, Kiss are one of those bands where, after a certain point, they suck. But they had some really good stuff. And like those first, particularly the first two Alive albums, those are killer.
I would also throw in
what is funny?
Men from Accept.
I never really listened to Accept much. I couldn't get into them. There is one thing that's funny. So, presumably you have at some point in your life listened to the first Kiss Alive album, right?
I've not listened to much Kiss, I will confess this.
Okay. Well, this album, so it's a live album, and as many of the live albums of the day were, there's overdubs. Fine, whatever, it's a killer album. There is one point where if you listen very closely, and one of the solos on one of the tracks, you can faintly hear the original solo that's been overdubbed. So evidently, instead of removing it, they just turned it way down.
Wow.
Oh, Gary Moore. Gary Moore's a favorite of mine.
Now, where would I know Gary Moore from?
Just legendary hard rock blues guitarist, hard rock metal blues guitarist. You know, Over the Hills and Far Away, that song Nightwish did a version of. Yes. This is the original of that. He did the original version of that. The Nightwish version I can't stand. His is awesome hard rock epicness. Still got the blues. That was a pretty big hit. That's by him. He was in Thin Lizzy for a while.
Oh.
Legendary Irish rock metal guitar, hard rock bluesy guitar.
Where we just stand on Brian Robertson.
He was with I was never good at what I've listened to Thin Lizzy. Most of it is the era with Brian Robertson and whatever the other dude's name is, and I was never good at picking out who was playing which, but both of them good. I have a weird thing with Thin Lizzy where I want to like them more than I do, but I kind of Phil Lynot's voice is one of those things where I have to be in the mood to listen to it. It's not that it's a bad voice. He had a great voice. It's just
how about the Edge?
The Edge. He can play very inventive, very great parts, but he can also he's also kind of fallen into just playing the same old sort of thing. I gotta say, I listened to a few other U2 things that weren't songs that weren't on
Joshua Tree.
There's more good stuff than I remembered. And Sunday Bloody Sunday, I said I didn't like that song. It's a good song. As is War. War is a good song as well. Which is kind of funny. War and Heartbreak Warfare by John Mayer sound kind of similar. They're quite different songs. Okay, and there's actually a live version of where he goes.
John Mayer's comments about wanting to find the Joshua Tree of vaginas makes way more sense.
God, that comment is... Oh man.
I'm just gonna say I'm pretty damn sure John Mayer is a bit of a YouTube fan himself.
Oh, he is. And there's a version of him playing Heartbreak Warfare where he goes, I know this song sounds kind of like Bad by U2, but I wasn't trying to rip them off, so I thought, fuck it, it's okay. It has its own sound. I wasn't trying to do a song like it. So, sure. Because it does sound quite different, but it's a similar vibe. I should probably check out more of these, because I think, like, everything past the year 2000, say, for U2 is shite. I should check out more of the early stuff, but yeah. The older stuff that isn't Joshua Tree, but yeah.
I remember coming across was a Rolling Stone list of the 100 greatest.
You know what's funny? Actually, I just got to say something. It's funny. There was a time when everyone thought Coldplay were one album away from sounding exactly like U2.
Really?
And instead is that U2 have ended up sounding like Coldplay.
Talk about irony.
But yes, you were saying.
Yes, there was a my dad and I once found this Rolling Stone list of the 100 greatest guitarists.
Yeah. Pretty flawed list, that.
Yeah, well, I think they included Kurt Cobain on that list.
Now, you like Nirvana, right?
Yes, I do.
Would you call Kurt Cobain a particularly good guitarist?
The guy could look. He could play a guitar. Doesn't mean he was good at it. Being able to play
His
guitar,
riffs.
being able to play guitar and being good at it are two different things.
Yes, he's kind of an okay guitarist who lapped into playing some memorable. But here's the thing: the most memorable riffs, "Come As You Are" and "Smells Like Teen Spirit." And "Come As You Are" is ripped off from a song by another band.
Killing Joke, 80s.
Yeah, and "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You know what that is?
What?
That's not "Smells Like Teen Spirit." That's "More Than a Feeling." The chorus riff for that, he ripped off and then added in some palm mutes, made it a bit funkier, and made it less cool. Because seriously, More Than a Feeling.
So when you get
way cooler, right?
Kurt Cobain was just a serial plagiarist.
Yes, he was. And seriously, More Than a Feeling has way more energy and is a way better song. Actually, that first Boston album is awesome. What's his name? The guitarist from that is great. But yeah,
Red Delp.
Dude. Yeah, dude. So in light of the whole Stephen Fry being reported for blasphemy thing, here's something funny.
What?
It has now been discovered that New Zealand still has an anti-blasphemy law, though neither the Prime Minister nor the Anglican Archbishop was aware of this. Apparently, it's not been used since 1922.
So it was kind of like a blue law. It was on the books, but
Yeah.
no one really enforced it.
New Zealand has laws covering crimes against religion, morality, and public welfare, and blasphemous libel, though vaguely defined, remains an offence punishable by up to 12 months jail.
Oh my god. Okay.
Now a range of people, including Prime Minister Bill English and Anglican Archbishop and Primate Philip Richardson, say it's time to get rid of the arbitrary and archaic law.
Wait.
The Anglican Archbishop wants to get rid of the anti-blasphemy laws that he didn't even know existed.
Wait.
This is hilarious.
Wait. You said Anglican Archbishop. Does that mean like the biggest church in New Zealand is the Anglican one?
I'm not sure, but because we're part of the Commonwealth and the Anglican Church is the official
Church of England.
state church of England, I believe we're mostly a Protestant one, yeah, and mostly Anglican. But we've got a lot of Catholics as well. My grandparents on my father's side, one of them is Anglican, my granddad, and my grandmother is Catholic, both deeply religious, both for years, married, no problem. One always went to her Catholic church. She went to the other, he always went to the Anglican church, not a problem.
Wow. Yeah, I think, you remember that guy, that dude in the suede?
No, who's that dude in the suede?
He was one of Channel Awesome's original anime reviewers. He's a Kiwi, like you.
Oh yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, well, he also went away.
Now I know I don't remember him.
Yeah, he went away for a couple of years because he had some work to do with the Mormon
He went
church
on a
over
Mormon
there.
mission. Wasn't he a Mormon and he went on a mission?
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird.
You got Mormons in New Zealand.
We do. I went to intermediate school with one. There was one in my class. I was kind of friends with her. But yeah, they're Mormons.
Be surprised. We've actually got Mormons as far as Washington. There's actually a Mormon church I pass on the way to work every day.
Right. Okay. But basically, everyone, it seems, just reading this article, everyone is surprised that this law exists and thinks it should be overthrown, even deeply religious people and religious leaders.
Just wow. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this
I'm
reminds
not
me of like.
complaining. I'm just saying it's kind of funny.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like back in the early days of the country, there was
Yes.
there was kind of this law that states had to have X amount of laws to be part of the union.
Oh, so a bunch of them had blasphemy laws that never got enforced.
Not exactly. They had a bunch of what came to be known as blue laws.
Blue laws.
Yeah, they were laws
Right.
that were.
That's with it.
They were really dumb. They were just really stupid laws that they didn't bother enforcing, but they had to get them on the books so they could.
Right.
So they could join the union. Like I think there was one state that has a law against walking your alligator in public.
Okay, you know what a weird law is? Yeah. And this is far more recent than that. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
So this is a law in a state in America that is oddly specific and weird. Actually, here's two. In one state, it is illegal to wash the windows of your car with used underwear. They specify used, as in... And in another, it is illegal to have sex in a moving vehicle, but not a parked one.
I have to wonder how they enforce either of those laws.
Why those laws are things? It's so weird.
I want to know which state these are. I want to know which state these are from.
I can't remember. Here's another funny thing. Up until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, do you know what the driving test in Egypt consisted of?
What?
Driving in a straight line between cones 50 meters and then reversing the 50 meters back between the two rows of cones. Yeah. Ridiculous, isn't it?
That is ridiculous. It's California.
For which one?
The wash your car with used underwear.
Used underwear? Of course it's California.
In fact, here's 6 others. In Alabama, it's illegal to drive the wrong way on a one-way street if you have a lantern on the front of your car.
Holy shit!
Legal. It's legal.
What the hell? That's ridiculous.
Number 2, in Louisiana, it is illegal for a woman to drive a car unless her husband is running ahead, waving a flag in front of it.
You're kidding. Okay, what are the others?
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, an ordinance forbids parking for over 2 hours unless a horse is tied to the car.
Okay, I've found this book where I found this. This was Richard Hammond's book. But keep reading those, and I'm going to find the list of crazy laws and go through them, hey?
Bonus, in New York City, cars must be tethered outside public buildings.
Tethered? There must be a holdover from horse days.
Probably. In Coeur d'Alene, I think that's how it's pronounced, it's in Idaho. If a police officer approaches a vehicle and suspects that the occupants are engaging in sex, he must either honk or flash his lights and wait for 3 minutes before approaching the car.
I remember this. Okay, so let's go through some of these.
I still got a few others. In Clinton, Oklahoma, there is a law against masturbating while watching 2 people have sex in a car.
Dude, in China's Beijing city, it's an offense for a driver to stop at a pedestrian crossing. Halting to let a pedestrian cross is punishable with a fine. And in 1920s Beijing, do you know what the penalty for speeding was?
What?
Beheading.
Oh, shit. Oh,
and in El Salvador, drunk drivers face death by firing squad.
Jesus. By the way, the used underwear to wipe off cars.
Yes.
It's not just it's San Francisco, to be more specific.
Of course it is.
Also in San Francisco, persons classified as ugly may not walk down any street.
That's awesome.
Also
That needs to be
yeah. Last one. Also in California, it is a misdemeanor to shoot at any kind of game from a moving vehicle unless the target is a whale.
Drive past SeaWorld, I want to shoot something out of a moving vehicle.
Bonus. Still in California, no vehicle without a driver that exceeds 60 miles per hour.
Okay. If a man is convicted of drink driving in Malaysia, his wife is also thrown in prison for co-responsibility. In Germany, it's an offense to make derogatory signs at other drivers. Do you know in Vancouver, there's a law that still exists that requires all motorists to carry anchors in their cars to be used as emergency brakes?
Okay, I need to ask Beth. She's my Canadian friend. And she lives in BC. She will be able to tell me if this is true.
This was certainly true when this book was written, but this was 5 or 6 years ago. May not be anymore. Until recently, it was necessary for women in Lithuania to undergo a gynecological examination before qualifying for a driving license.
Oh, my lord.
Hula hoops were banned in Japan in the 1950s because they caused so many accidents amongst motorists craning their necks to watch people using them.
Oh, Japan.
The size, in Russell, Kansas, it's against the law to have a musical car horn. I agree. That should be against the law. In Evanston, Illinois, it's illegal to change any of your clothes inside a car unless there's a fire. In Somalia, this is oddly specific. It's an offense to drive with a lump of old chewing gum attached to your nose. In Denmark, it is illegal to start your car before checking whether anyone's underneath it. Hitchhiking in Colorado can fetch a 2-year jail sentence. The Czech Republic forbids anyone under 1.5 meters tall from traveling in the front seat. In Cottonwood, Arizona, having sex in a car is illegal if it has flat tires. The fine is $25 if the car is parked and $100 if you're still on the move.
Oh, my lord.
In Rutland, Vermont, it's illegal for a car to backfire.
Huh. That sticks.
In Germany,
that sticks Hexenhammer 666's backyard.
I know. In Germany, a man appeared in a Cologne court for hitting a road sign at 60 miles per hour while fucking a hitchhiker. All he was fined for? Dude, you want to know what he was fined for?
What?
Leaving the scene of an accident. That's all. That's kind of awesome, honestly.
Oh, my lord.
In Singapore, the law states that oral sex is illegal in a car, quote, unless used only as a form of foreplay, unquote. And towing another car is strictly against the law, and even owning a car with a tow bar can get you a fine.
What?
In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if a police officer suspects someone is having sex in a vehicle...
Already did this one.
Oh, you're right, you did. In Tremonton, Utah, no woman is allowed to have sex with a man while riding in an ambulance.
That has to be one of the laws the Mormons put in.
Yeah. In Switzerland, you can be prosecuted for washing your car on a Sunday, for not turning off your engine at traffic lights, and for leaving your keys in your car, but only if your car door is open. In Sweden, a loophole in the law allows cars to be registered in children's names, which normally works fine, except once a 10-year-old in Stockholm was billed £27,000 for traffic fines.
Holy hell.
It was 100 meters for the Egyptian one, not 50 meters. For the, and holy shit. In Macedonia, it's illegal for a driver to be over the limit, but also the front seat passenger must not have drunk any alcohol.
Okay.
All sheep in the cab of your truck must be accompanied by a chaperone in Missouri. In Tennessee, it's illegal to drive while sleeping. In Clinton, Oklahoma, it's an offense to, and I quote, molest an automobile. In Japan, a senior official of the National Police Agency declared that if the "Don't Walk" sign starts flashing when a pedestrian is 49% of the way across a pedestrian crossing, they should turn back. And it is customary for drunk drivers in Turkey to be driven 20 miles out of town by police and then to be made to walk home while being jeered at by a police escort. I think that should be done more places. That's a really good idea, don't you think?
Yeah.
But there we go. That's some crazy laws. Molesting an automobile. Who think they're in love with their cars and who do fuck them.
That takes autoerotic to a whole new level.
Yeah! Yes! Apparently some of them stick their dick holes in the exhaust pipe. You'd hope the car hadn't been running recently, wouldn't you? Imagine that. Oh, dude. Surprising absolutely no one, Shepard Smith has come out as gay.
Who could have?
Because of course he was gay. I know, right? It's not like he was It's not like he fucking screamed of being gay. Oh wait, he kind of did. Remember that video of him doing the weather report and just going, basically, you're all gonna die. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh.
Holy shit, dude! Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has debuted with $145 million domestically for grossing and has topped $425 million worldwide.
That's good.
I know. But you were saying?
Yeah, it turns out I got it wrong what a blue law is. A blue law is actually a law designed to enforce religious standards, mostly prohibits selling alcoholic beverages for on-off premises in one form or another on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you... yeah. Okay. Honestly, there are worse laws than saying you can't sell alcohol on Sundays or religious holidays.
Yeah.
You can't... I believe you can't sell alcohol... Oh, no, the trading laws for, like, stores that can be open and when they can open for certain days in New Zealand, like Easter Sunday and Anzac Day, are quite restrictive. And there are all these people who are all butthurt about it. It's like, dude, come on, really? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you really need
like you can only be open. You can only be open after 12, after midday on Anzac Day, and you have to apply or pay a fine, or you can pay to it, and all these things. It's like, who cares? And like, you can't sell alcohol on Anzac Day or on Christmas Day, not Anzac Day, on Easter Sunday, I think, and you can't sell it on Christmas. It's like, so what's it matter? Who cares?
Yeah, do you need your booze?
Make sure you
if you need your booze,
get some badly, the day before.
If you need your booze that badly, you've got a problem, man.
Yeah. Get some. I mean, who the fuck doesn't get booze a day or two before Christmas, right?
Yeah, if you're smart.
Hey, come on.
If you're smart, you get a few weeks before Christmas.
Christmas, by the way, just drinker. I normally don't drink before 2 at the earliest, right? Mm-hmm. If not 3 or 4. Christmas is the one exception where it is acceptable, certainly in New Zealand, it is acceptable if you're starting with beer to start drinking around midday on Christmas.
Really?
Of course, Christmas in New Zealand is the height of summer. So it's the height of summer and it's a big... But yeah, Christmas is the exception. Oh, and like like a wedding reception or something like that.
Yeah,
like a beer at...
You're in a hemisphere where everything's so screwed up. Your summers are actually our winters.
Yeah. So there's a few things like that where it's acceptable to start drinking maybe around midday, but never drink before midday, guys. But
yeah, I like to never go before noon myself. You don't need it that early.
And I normally, and like I said, there's one day a year, maybe a couple more if it's like a wedding type big event like a reception or something like that.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
But yeah, guys, if you're drinking before midday, and it's not like you're going to like a fucking tour of somewhere that, a distillery or a beer brewery or something like that, and you're sampling something. If you're actually starting drinking properly before midday, like more than like maybe 3 times a year, there's a problem. And yes, that includes weekend-long benders where you just don't sleep.
You said there's a tour distillery, so I'm guessing there's a lot of beer production out in New Zealand.
There's a lot of breweries, yeah. We have some great craft beer. And beer, it's really easy to get cheap good beer or affordable good beer. There's a brand, Max. They're not quite a brewery, but they're in between. Sorry, they're not quite a micro craft beer brewery, but they're in between that and a macro.
I really gotta I gotta head up a liquor store around here, see if they import anything from New Zealand.
Yes, it's good stuff, and it's everywhere, Max. And Max is maybe like $13 NZ for like a 6-pack, which is a couple of bucks more than stuff that's barely drinkable. It's about the same price as like Bud would be here. Budweiser would be here, and it's way better. Yes, you should, and Tuatara and Moa in particular are great brands. Moa make a really nice, like a session pale ale, session IPA kind of thing that's really good. It's, 4.8, 5.5, 5.5, somewhere around there. Lovely, lovely stuff. Not too expensive either, but yeah.
I bet it is.
And Tuatara make a great APA. So if you can find either Moa or Tuatara somewhere, check that shit out. But yeah, again, most beer made in New Zealand is pretty good. Tui and Double Brown.
Except what?
Tui and Double Brown. Those are terrible. Double Brown, or DB as it's generally referred to, is basically it's what the beneficiaries in poor areas drink.
Oh my lord! So it's
because you can get.
So it's the bogan booze of choice.
No, bogans tend to be more Tui. It's more like Maoris on the beneficiary on the dole, in really poor areas, kind of thing. Or really, it's drunk mostly by Maoris. Like, it's for whatever reason. You can get an 18 and for about $20 NZ, which would be about 15 US, maybe.
That's not too bad.
It's cheap, but it's not really drinkable.
Oh yeah.
Even with the best company in the world, it's pretty hard to drink it. Oh, Steinlager. You could probably find Steinlager. Steinlager's a pretty decent New Zealand lager. Although Steinlager Pure is better. But yeah, it's a lager. It's nothing fancy, but it's a good sort of Euro lager kind of thing. It's styled after like Heineken kind of thing, but it's better than Heineken, in my opinion. At least the pure version, but yeah. Anyways.
I thought the Germans made the best beer in the world.
I don't think Heineken's German. I think it's...
Sounds like it's German.
I don't know.
Let me check.
I think it's from Holland.
You mean Dutch?
Yeah, I think it's Dutch.
Let's find out.
Dutch is from Holland, dude. Yeah. Technically correct.
Oh yeah, it is Dutch.
I mean,
It is Dutch.
Told you. I'm a Belgian beer guy myself. Belgian style beers.
Really? Okay, now that.
God, yes.
Now I honestly have to. So you would say Belgians make better beer than the Germans?
Yeah, especially the stuff made by the Trappist monks. Okay, here's one of my all-time favorite beers. Chimay Blue. CHIMAY. It's made by Catholic monks, Trappist monks. It's strong. It's a triple. It's very strong dark beer. Their red is a double. It's lighter. I want to say it's up around 10% alcohol. It's rich. It's kind of fruity. It's not like super sweet, but it is sweet, but it's got a lot of flavor to it and body. It's thick. It's quite highly carbonated. It's god tier.
I'm gonna bet, being that it's an import beer, it can't come cheap.
No, it's not particularly cheap, but it is godly. It is like Shime Blue. Oh, not made by Trappists, not actually made by monks, but it is an Abbey style beer. Saint Bernardus, another great Belgian one. I haven't had their Abbott 12 is the one that everyone says is the best. I've not had it, but I've had the 8, which is the red one of theirs, and that is godly. That one. So with this kind of beer, you can get 750 ml corked bottles as well. So that's about the size of not a liter, but a normal liquor bottle of beer. That's this one was up around 8%. Drank it all to myself one night over a couple of hours, and it was one of the great beer experiences I've had because it just was so good.
I have enjoyed myself Irish Death and Guinness.
Guinness is good. I do like Guinness, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if you can't find Irish Death in New Zealand.
I've never heard of it. Have you had Murphy's? That's another Irish one, kind of like similar to
yeah, Irish Death is actually I can tell you why you're not going to find Irish Death in New Zealand, because it's a local brew. Made in the Pacific Northwest.
Right, sounds good.
In Ellensburg.
Oh yeah, but I'm Oh, do you know what the best beer I have ever had is?
What?
Have you ever had any Dogfish Head beers?
I feel like I might have seen them.
Regarded American microbrewery. I think it's the 120-minute IPA I've had. Beer I've ever had. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the minutes refers to. They have a 60-minute, they have a 120-minute, they have a 320-minute.
Really?
16's weakest, 120's next. Not 3. Fuck. 3 something. 2 something. It's something weird. 20-minute IPA is the one that I've had, and let's just see what this refers to. It's something like how long they do the malting, or something weird like that. Oh, I've got to put my birth date. I'll do a fake one because that's what everyone does. It's easiest. Oh, no, sorry, the 120-minute is the crazy one that I've not had. There's 90-minute is the best beer I've ever had. Really? 9% ABV, 90 IBU, which means it's quite, IBU refers to like, how hoppy it is. Very hoppy. So it refers to how long they continuously hop it for. So I hop it for 90 minutes for this shit. It's gorgeous. It's well worth trying sometime. I've only had it once, and it was like the best thing I've ever had. You Americans know how to do craft beer. I will give you this. Yes, you know what brand I like? I like Anchor a lot. Anchor beer.
Now, of course,
their APA is great.
Now, of course, me being a Mick, my booze of choice is always going to be whiskey.
Yeah, I'm a Scotch guy or Irish whiskey. Those are my preferred ones, but especially Scotch. But I do love beer too.
Here's a
and I like good tequila. Look, I like most. I'll try most.
Is Scotch still Scotch if it's not made in Scotland?
It can be Scotch style, but it's definitely not Scotch whiskey. No.
It's only Scotch if it's made in Scotland.
Yeah, And the Scotch Whisky Association will sue the ever-loving shit out of anyone who tries to call their Scotch if it's not made and bottled in it. Has to be bottled in Scotland as well.
Well, then Aaron Clary's dream of making Glen Clary is gonna have a bit of a roadblock to get past.
No. I mean, he could. He wouldn't have to call it Scotch. He could just call it whiskey, or he could build a distillery in Scotland, make and bottle it in Scotland, and call it Scotch. Or alternatively, he could become a blender and blend his own, but he wouldn't be able to call it Scotch. Also, I dig your new profile pic.
Yeah. On Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made with a Funko generator.
Neat. How long have we been recording?
I think we've been going for about let's pull it up.
Hour and a half or so?
Yep, hour and a half.
Right, we're kind of just rambling a bit.
Yeah, we are.
Which isn't too bad, but we should probably wrap this up soon. Not sure anyone wants to listen to much more than an hour and a half of us rambling.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Without a topic.
That's all the time we have for tonight, guys. Be with us next week when hopefully we actually have
we'll
have a real topic hopefully by then.
Can't say what it is because we don't know, but we'll have a topic of some description.
Right.
We will talk for 2 hours about Brett's pathetic head of hair and how he will how he already has a fucking receding hairline.
Oh, fuck you.
Unless you've intentionally cut it that way.
No.
But I don't know.
This is my dad's genetics fucking me over.
Always 6, right? You already have a pretty serious receding hairline. Holy shit, you're going to be balding before you're even 40.
I remember my dad being bald in his 30s.
You poor fucking bastard, man. I'd kill myself if I went bald. I wouldn't actually, but I mean, look at my face. Jesus, my head shape would not look good bald, would it?
I actually want.
You'll be able to pull it off. I think.
There was one time I tried trimming my hair, kind of messed it up, and had to shave all of it off to make it look.
How'd it look?
My girlfriend at the time said I looked like my dad.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Depends on how. That depends.
Your dad, an unattractive man.
He was. My dad was okay looking when he was young.
No, I suspect you will age relatively well.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
And your face wouldn't look too bad bald. I was going to say you should just preempt it and just shave everything but the beard off. Beard and bald.
And then just, people say I look enough like my dad already.
No, here's what you can do if you want to preempt balding. Give yourself a fucking tonsure.
Go look at what that is.
It's what the monks had?
Oh, that.
Yeah, with the patch shaved out.
Yeah, not doing that. I'm so not doing that, man.
That would look terrible. Brett, you with a tonsure would be weird, man.
Yes, it would.
Someone with shopping skills, with Photoshop skills, needs to Photoshop Brett to have a tonsure and into like an old fucking brown monk's habit. Brother Brett. Well, you are quite religious.
I'm not a Catholic, motherfucker.
I was going to say you're the wrong kind of Christian, though. Why aren't you Catholic? Why are you a fucking heretic? Faggot.
Because I grew up a pastor's kid. That's why, faggot.
Oh, well, at least you're not a Gnostic Christian. Or worse, a Seventh-day Adventist.
Or actually, there's worse. There's
Or a Jehovah's Witness. Dude, there's Seventh-day Adventist and Jehovah's Witnesses both have a presence here, as have presences in my town. And it's hilarious walking past the Seventh-day Adventist place when they're just getting out after a church session.
Yeah. After
because
service.
everyone, after service, I was blanking on the word, because everyone has that cult look.
Oh man.
You know how cultists, when they look happy, look kind of like very simple retards?
Or just have that really creepy smile.
Yeah, and they have like that vapid, there's nothing really there. Everyone walking out has that look as they walk out, like they're just simpletons. And they're absolute retards. Or like, they have the cult kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Making fun of the Seventh-day Adventists, there was a joke in a Red Dwarf episode.
I still need to watch that show sometime.
Well, here's the joke. Rimmer says that his family were Seventh-day Advent Hoppists. And this sect was started because of a typo in the Bible. Faith, charity, and hop. And the greatest of these was hop. And so everyone would hop to church.
That's hilarious.
That's Red Dwarf for you.
Seventh-day Adventists are just a total joke. Would you agree?
I would probably be inclined to.
I'm not even it's kind of funny. Me, the non-Christian, starts the topic of joking about how shitty, how retarded and heretical certain sects of Christianity
Honestly,
are.
If you ask me, I don't think sex got any worse than the Calvinists.
Oh.
Calvinists
are so retarded. I'm not even Christian, and I just go, your dogma and doctrine is all over the place and wrong, you fuckheads. And I'm not even a Christian, and I can see that.
Yeah, I know. And the Calvin church is just so huge in the Netherlands, and my stepmom, who is Dutch, thank God she was raised a Lutheran instead.
Right. If you want to laugh, read some of the Christian Reconstructionist theology.
Oh man, this should be fun.
They have some okay political ideas, like they generally want to reduce state power and they're pro-gold standard, and they can be a bit fashy sometimes. Some of the really full retard things in Calvinism and run with it. Like they're big Cornelius Van Til guys. His ideas. Ooh, those are some weird ideas. And apparently this Halsey thing, apparently she was misquoted.
Really?
Let's see what she actually said, shall we?
Okay.
Probably said it. I bet you she didn't ever describe herself as bi, tri, and they labeled her. I bet you that's what's going to have happened.
Oh boy, that probably.
God damn it, the link that someone posted saying that it was misquoted. Entire interview with her. God damn it, or an entire thing on her. And now I've managed to accidentally go from that to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. By the way, apparently some people have decided that one of the giant gold character in Guardians of the Galaxy should be fucking worshipped.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
I can't tell how much of it is a joke or not.
I know. It's the internet. You can't be sure.
I think it was like some entertainment magazine, so I think it was like a hyperbolic thing about it.
Maybe.
Oh. She didn't actually say it. Okay, here's the quote, dude. Identity crisis. Halsey identifies as biracial, bisexual, and bipolar, which some clickbait-minded reporters have shortened to try-bi. And then quote from her, "It's frustrating to see someone turn my identity into a hashtag," she says. "Leading up to my album release, I found that more people wanted to talk about my race and my sexuality than wanted to talk about my album." Okay. Maybe she's not that bad.
Doesn't sound
she still looks like someone who would have said something like that, though, eh?
Probably.
All right. So we should probably actually wrap up now, since we did say we were going to wrap up.
Yeah, this is a good jumping off point. Be with us next week for more Yank and Kiwi.
Indeed. And thanks to anyone who's listened to this much of us rambling on like we do.
That'd be fair when we ramble.
Bye-bye. Well, it's entertaining to us. Yeah. We're us. We can't judge how entertaining it is to others. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye, fuckfaces.